Hi, everyone. This is Britsimon. I'm busily working on lottery-related things all day, and I thought I'd better just give you an update because I think there's been some confusion, and perhaps I've even added to the confusion about the hearing tomorrow with Judge Mehta. So I just want to be clear. Charles Cook has confirmed to me there isn't a hearing that we can all dial into, as we have before. It's not that sort of process tomorrow. Basically, the government were given a deadline to produce a report by the 21st. It was originally going to be on the 25th. Hi, Shahid. Yeah. It was originally going to be on the 25th. It's now tomorrow, but there is not going to be a hearing where Judge Mehta will go through that. He's asked for a report, and actually our legal team have prepared a report and all sorts of evidence, and they're also going to present that to the judge, and the judge will then study that report and presumably make his decision sometime later. I'm almost certain that we will not have a decision on an extension tomorrow. I think we just need to accept that it's not going to come tomorrow. It could be a few days later. It could be as late as the end of the month. Who knows? So we have to sort of cautiously be careful about assuming that it's going to be too quick, right? So please don't sort of expect that. Okay, I'm just going to make this a fairly short session. I've got a lot of work to do, which is DV lottery related. I have actually created a declaration for the Ayla and Charles Cook teams today. I produced one for Curtis Morrison the other day for his 3.0 lawsuit, and both of those are now filed. The declarations are now filed, so they can use them as evidence, and it shows what KCC have and haven't achieved. Okay, so let's go through a couple of these questions as they come in, and I won't get too far behind. Trey says, I have a passport that being outdated in April 2021. What should I do? You can extend that. You can renew that passport, Trey, and then when you send documents to KCC, you can send them the old and the new version, and also the same thing in the interview. And what proof that old passport was valid? Okay, just photocopy the passport, Trey. Madhu, hi, I'm glad you're a big admirer of my work and you're down under in New Zealand. Okay, Ethio says, I know you hate to be asked on assumptions, but how possible is the extension? 50-50. I don't know any more than that. I like I've said before, I'm more confident about it now than I was a few weeks ago. So, my confidence level is increasing, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Hi, says Grumarko from Serbia. Good luck. Great. KCC will fail DV 2021 too, says Trey. Yeah, they might do, Trey. We're all grown-ups. We can handle that. I have pointed out to people, look, 9 months is enough time for them to process all the cases. So no need to be freaking out at this point. What you should be far more concerned about is whether Donald Trump wins re-election in November. Ethio, was there any time that extension has happened? Is there any loopholes in the law for unusual cases? Right. So there are essentially two times. There was a very early 20-something years ago, there was a case where there was an extension for a particular group of people that were at a particular embassy. There was also a lawsuit which achieved an extension for a small group of people. All of those people, so actually in the second case I'm talking about, all of those people bar one were actually given their visas prior to September the 30th. And the only one case where the judge had said you need to extend that, reserve that visa place for this one person, that case is still being argued, and it's about 3 years old. So this is going to be a big deal if we can get the extension. Mohammed asks, what happens if I need to change my sponsor after receiving the 2NL and the current sponsor changes their mind? You actually don't present your sponsor until the interview anyway. The address that you give in the DS260 is just where the green card will be sent. That's not necessarily your sponsor. So no problem, just change it at the interview. Jayola says, I'm past, but I hope we'll be allowed to enter there. Yep, they accept pastors as well. Tolga, KCC sending congrats emails to DV 2020 selectees. Isn't this a scandal? I think it's a bit of a scandal. Yes, I've explained before. There are two groups of staff at the KCC. One that deals with sort of general inquiries. They process the DS260s and so on. And then there's another group of people who process the documents. Those two groups, those two departments are totally separated. But if I were KCC, I would have said to these people, go and do that sort of work, answer questions, try and schedule cases, do that for DV 2020. I would not have allowed them to do anything for DV 2021, during this 2 to 3 week process that we have. So now we know for a fact that KCC have continued to do that other work. So the judge is going to hear about that. I put that in my declaration. I've presented that as evidence that KCC have not done the right thing. So that's going to be for them to justify now. Okay. Ching, 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 ching. Siwa, hi again. I want to know the highest number that's been processed in Africa now. Are you talking about DV 2021? It doesn't matter about the highest processed number. That's they sometimes go in number order and sometimes they don't. So you could have a very high number processed in terms of documents. So don't worry about that. Waleed, hello. Which forms do you recommend to be filled before the DV 2020 winners interview to save time? I recommend the following forms. Obviously, all the forms that the instructions tell you, like birth certificate and marriage certificate and all passport and all those documents, right? Police certificates and that sort of thing. But I also recommend you have an I-134, which is an affidavit of support from someone in America. I also recommend, although it's not strictly speaking required, a DS-5540. It's part of it has been blocked by the court, but some embassies might still ask for it. And if your DS260 was very old and didn't have questions in it about social media, etc., then I also suggest that you fill out the DS5535. Okay, so that's the three forms I suggest you take, Waleed. Robotop, I like that. Robotop, like it. Hello, so as the interview is on, is in ongoing process in Nepal for DV 2020. But there are 2,600 people left. Do they all get the visa or there will be any provisions? If we get an extension, Robotop, there's chance that some of them will get processed. If the deadline is September 30th, they won't all get a chance. Mohammed says, are the results of DV 2020 out, sir? Okay, so you've got your years wrong, Mohammed. The results of DV 2021 are out. Yes, some people know they are winners, and you can check on the dvlottery.state.gov website. You can check, you go to dvlottery.state.gov/ESC, and you put in your confirmation number that you got, and you can check there. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm losing track of these, so I got to be faster. Will KCC be able to process 20 and 21 extension if possible? Will they prioritize the 20s? There is no extension for DV 2021. There's no necessity for that at the moment. There's only a necessity to help out DV 2020 because their deadline runs out in 10 days time, and DV 2021 has a year and 10 days from now. Okay, no, there is not going to be extension for DV 2021. Shahid, Britt, I've received the email and said that you have submitted your needed document. That means you're in category 4. And they said, oh, well, so I don't know whether you're 2020 or 2021. But it says we will schedule the interview. And so what do you think when that interview will be scheduled? Am I supposed to guess? I need to know which year you're in, what region, and what case number. And even if I have all of that, I'm probably not going to guess. If you're 2021, I'm going to say wait and see. Moccam. Sir, can I use my expired passport to play DV 2022 or just apply for a new passport? If you use your expired passport and you're selected as a winner, you will be disqualified. So I suggest you follow the instructions and get a new passport. Mohammed, document confirmation email from KCC and 2NL are different? Yes, correct. The 2NL is the instruction for the interview. It's the date of the interview. Whereas the email that you get that says congratulations, you provided all of your documents, we call that the ready for scheduling email. They are different emails. Yes. Ari, in my entrance status form, I have the interview on September 25th, and later got a mail from the embassy itself telling me that my interview is on September 27th. You trust the embassy. You go on the date. If you're sure that that email is from the embassy, you go on the date that they tell you. Okay. And September 27th should be enough time, so you're okay. Trey, DV 2020 should fight for October, December. No, they shouldn't. I've already explained why. It's too late. We need to stop talking about fighting for October, November, December. There's no point. 9 months are enough, Trey. All right? Please don't continue with that. We need to focus on DV 2020 and accept for DV 2021 that we'll have 9 months, not 10 days, 9 months to process all of those. All right? Just relax. So it's fine. Okay, Bundix, welcome back. Hello, sir. KCC may send the 2NL for DV 2021 before. Yeah, I expect them to start sending the 2NLs for 2021 interviews in November. But again, that's weeks from now. So, so there you go. Trey, if you're Trey again, and if your interview is at Georgia, NAD Georgia doesn't allow travel in their country, what should I do? You're a 2021 applicant. I don't know what your case number is, but it's going to be, weeks or months from now. So relax. You're welcome, Waleed. Pajor. Hi, Simon. I was given a yellow paper 221G during interview and was asked to submit original police certificate, which I'll do tomorrow or the day after. Question, how long does the CO take to stamp the visa? Right, good question. I wish you'd gone to the interview properly prepared. That's one thing I would say. Imagine if you hadn't done that and you had an interview on the 27th, 28th, 29th. That would have cost your green card. So, please, people, prepare properly. Take the original documents, take the documents you have to take. How long will it take? So if you put that in tomorrow, it'll probably take them a couple of days to look at that. They're busy. And they've got to ask KCC for a visa to be allocated to your case, and KCC are busy, and so you can expect to wait probably 4 or 5 days before you get before your CX status says issued. In the meantime, it's going to say refused, by the way, on CX. Don't freak out. Don't worry about that. That's normal. It's just going to take a few days for that. Moccam says, sir, can some make adjustment of status if the deadline has been extended? Adjustment of status, which is people who are in the USA, has not been impacted by the president's proclamation, so those people can continue. DV 2021 applicants who are in the USA and are adjusting status can start in October. Ho says, I wonder why some cases are higher than mine, but they're in group 4. Why so? Some cases are high. Okay. I don't really know. Ho, make your question clear, please. Okay. Where was that? Ho, yeah. Ethio. I wonder. No. I don't understand that one. Ethio Love, I don't understand your other question. Nabil says, can you explain what steps should a DV 2020 winner who are already in the USA? Okay, there's a different process for that. It's called adjustment of status, Nabil. There is a person who is fantastic at answering questions. She goes by the forum name of someone's mum. She's in the forum.immigration.com forum, and she gives exceptionally good information on how to adjust status. And I recommend people go to her. I never even try and direct people myself. I did adjustment of status. I know the process, but she knows it much better than I do, and so I direct people to her. And and I hope, I pray that she'll continue to help people over the years. So go to that forum. I'll put the link in. I'll put it in here. That's going to be tough, actually. On this computer, I'm a little restricted. See if I can do this. No, this isn't going to be ideal, but you'll be able to figure this out. You'll go to a post that says, you'll go to a post that talks about, I'm putting this link in here, but you'll go to a post that talks about adjustment of status for 2021 in that link that I've just sent you there. Go there. Number one, on the first post of that thread, there is a spreadsheet linked that has all the information for adjustment of status you could possibly want. So read that carefully, and if you still have questions, then you can ask someone's mum. But please read the spreadsheet first. Don't just ask questions, that have already been answered in that spreadsheet. Sanil says, I've sent my documents to KCC. They sent me, wait for an interview appointment. I'm in Oceania region. Country Fiji, my case number 2K, and my lottery number is DV2021. Will I have a chance? Yeah, maybe. I think Oceania, it depends on what sort of year we have, but mathematically, Oceania numbers around about 2,000 are the borderline cases. So you'll just have to wait. You'll wait until summer of next year to find out. Tolga, can the lawyers show your really impressive graphs and Excel tables in your previous video showing KCC disaster? Yep, I've prepared a legal declaration, Tolga, giving them all of that information so that they have exactly what they need to show Judge Mehta. They may show that declaration, or they may just talk to it. That's going to be up to them. But it is part of Curtis Morrison's case, which is being heard by Judge Mehta. So he's going to see that information. He's going to see my details. It's all there for him. Okay. Okay. Trey, you were talking about in case Trump will win. If Trump wins in November, we won't see an immediate change. Trump will win or Trump will lose in November, I hope, but he doesn't instantly leave the White House. He stays until January 20th, Trey. And then the new president comes in on the 20th. So do you think, and Ethio says, do you think Biden may reconsider 2020 winners provided the nature of the Democrats? I mean, if he wins. Okay. It's a good question. Will Biden retroactively go back to DV 2020 and sort of somehow help them if Judge Mehta hasn't extended the deadline? No, that will not happen. Why won't it happen? Because it's not the most important thing that a new president has to worry about. He'll be looking forward. He won't be trying to help people that by that time couldn't be helped. Okay, so if the federal judge says there's no extension, then September 30th will be the end of the road for DV 2020 cases. That's as simple as that. Eleanor, hello Britt, thank you for your help. What do you think if the judge extends 2020? Is it possible that KCC will work as relaxed as it is now? If they extend, the lawyers are going to ask for 145 days, I think it is. If they extend, that will be enough time to suit most people, and he would probably give them more clear instructions on how they're supposed to work. But can we force them to work? No, we can't. Well, it will be better, but it won't be perfect because it's not really an easy process. People think, obviously it's very easy for us to be judgmental about KCC. None of us know how hard their job is. You don't, I don't. They're dealing with a complex thing. They're answering the phone from people that are talking all sorts of different languages that don't understand what's going on, and they do the best they can, but it's not necessarily easy. Sometimes they're seeing documents, they're based in Kentucky. There are not many people wandering around in Kentucky with lots of different languages, documents from lots of different countries, etc. They're just not used to dealing with this, right? So it's harder than you think. Zinu, I checked 2021. now, and I was stressed. Sadly, I was not selected. Any word? Keep trying. Try again, Zinu. That's the way it is. It's not a plan. It's a lottery. Okay, some people get selected, some don't. Pedro, I keep seeing your name everywhere. So, Mr. Britt, since receiving 2NL, I'm unable to book the embassy site. Don't know why. If you've got, okay, you received your 2NL, but you can't book the embassy site. So you've got to create a profile for the embassy. Follow their instructions. It's just a matter of going through the instructions. I can't give you individual specific steps because there are 200 embassies around the world, and I don't know all of their systems. So you just have to figure it out. Ari Adil, my interview is in Abu Dhabi and I will be quarantined there. If I won't be able to make it, do you recommend sending the embassy an email and asking for cancellation, or the interview just don't go? Okay, for Abu Dhabi, what I suggest is you find a way not to be quarantined. That's what I suggest. And there is a way. And I don't want people to risk their freedom, or put other people at risk health-wise, etc. So be careful. But if your green card depends on it, Ari. So figure it out. I've told you that before, I believe. And where is it? Enzubuga. Where is it? Enzubuga. Enzubuga Ben. Hello, Brett. I have severally contacted the US Embassy in Nairobi and KCC to schedule my case, but still reply with the same as prioritizing plaintiffs in Group 4. Is there any chance of a 2NL? Some Group 4 people are receiving 2NLs, but it takes cooperation from KCC and your embassy. So some of the embassies are going to have time to do that and some won't. Nairobi, I suspect, won't be that accommodating because they already handle quite a few cases, and simply catching up with the cases from March, April, May, the cancellations, that will probably be enough for them. But you have to see. Trey've got an actual job. Actual? Do you mean actuarial? I don't know. Or an actual job. And 7,000 USD in bank and property, but I have support. But I can't have support doc from US citizen. Okay, $7,000 is not a lot of money, Trey. It's probably your life savings, I understand, but it's not a lot of money. I spend more than that in a couple of weeks. So they won't that won't impress them. You need to actual job, I see. You need to get an I-134, Trey. Jaola, I have an old passport. What can I do? Hope I can apply first. Nope, don't apply with an old passport. You'll just be disqualified. You'll get your hopes up and then you'll get disqualified. Hi, H. Hamida. I have a question. If there is happen to be a deadline extension, will it go for AOS as well? AOS is not extended, impacted by the. I see what your question is. Okay, so it's a good question. I don't know. I think it would be equitable if they extend consular processing. They should extend adjustment of status, but we'll have to wait and see what the judge says, if he says anything at all. It's one of the complicated pieces of this whole decision for the judge. It's going to be hard. Mokum, how many months can judge extend? I don't know. Wait and see. Soy, in SA, there are cases with interview in Bogota, like case number 39XX and not plaintiff. I'm from Ecuador, ready for interview. Yeah, it's not normal. There's something weird going on in Bogota, Soy. So I ran through the numbers. Sarthisius extracted the data from SIAC, and we can see that there are 693 scheduled interviews since the judge gave the order. Of the 693, 373 of those are not picked up by the embassy yet, so we don't know where they are, right? But of the rest of the cases, so about 300 cases, 90 of them are in Bogota. There's no other embassy that comes close to that. So it seems for some reason that Bogota and KCC arranged to have, a ton of cases scheduled with them. I don't know why. It's a weird thing, but I've presented that information to the lawyers so that they can, and I've made special point of it so that they can discuss it with the judge. And I'm glad people are being helped by the embassies. I'm not suggesting that Bogota are doing anything wrong, but I don't understand why other embassies can't be so accommodating. And I created a video about that yesterday. Ho says you're in AS. Some case numbers are higher than case numbers. They've got their 2NLs. And again, Ho, I need clear, specific information. If you want me to ask the questions, you have to be clear. Sanya says she loves. Says Sanya, you love your videos. They are very informative and have loads of knowledge. Stay blessed. Thank you, Sanya. I'm getting a lot of female followers. Good-looking guy, obviously. Oh, please. Yaz. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. Yaz, you're going to try and help Ari. So, Yaz, I told of a story the other day of someone that was helped by another one of my readers. So, Yaz is the person that was helped by a gentleman called B, and Yaz will probably tell you an exciting story about how he was helped to get through Abu Dhabi. But you guys take care. Be careful. Obviously, the fines are extreme, but yeah, there are ways around it. As I say, Yaz will tell you with personal information. One, I'm a DV 2021 case number SA700X. 7XX. I've not sent the DS260. Do I still have time? It's not too late. I don't know where people get the idea that there's a too late situation. You can send that still in March, even April of next year. You'll be fine. Yep. I'm reading your comments there, Yaz. Yeah, you were lucky and you did do it. You also had help. I think it's important to understand sometimes we all need help. But yes, read the comments at the blog. You're absolutely right. Minisar, when the DV lottery registration opened, the new one is October 1st. I've just created a video on how to enter that one. And anyone that's in DV 2021 or 2020 even can enter the lottery again. Anybody can enter again. Ethio says, on the verge of my last hope, we're losing the once-in-a-lifetime chance. Let me curse Trump then. Maybe his last year is full of agony, and may he suffer till his last breath. He is really bull. Sorry. I kind of agree with your sentiment there, Ethio. I'd love him to suffer to his last breath. I just wish it would be now. But oh well. You're welcome, Pedro. Yes, it's trying to book the case. It says it's not ready for schedule. Okay, so you created the profile. You've been told when to appear. You've received the 2NL. That gives you a date. You don't need a date. You just need to create the profile. That's all you need to do. There's a good suggestion there. In Abu Dhabi, use the taxi cab to take the trailer truck road. Good. There you go. Jayola, I have an old passport. What can I do? And hope Nigeria can apply for this program also. No, Nigeria is not going to be let back into the program because Nigeria, like Britain, where I'm from, has enough people that already emigrate to the USA each year. So Nigeria is not going to be let back in. And if you don't have a passport, Jayola, as I've explained now, I think 3 times in this video, then you can't enter. Okay, Enrique. Regards, hola from Nicaragua, Central America. Lovely. ¿Qué tal? Trey, so injunction of the admissibility. I should still give the DS5540. Prepare it if you. Oh, you're in 2021. Okay, by the time you go for interview, it'll probably be sorted out, Trey. Thank you, Ethio. Lovely, kind words there. Charity. Thanks, Britt. I applied using my maiden name. I've submitted DS260, but would like to revert to my maiden name. Okay, so when you got married, if you changed your name legally, then legally that new name is your new name, right? So that should normally be in the DS260, and there's a section in the DS260 for previous names used, so you can use that section. If, however, you want to be issued a green card using your maiden name for whatever reason, then you would have to go through another legal name change process and then update your DS260 later on. Is that clear, Charity? Enrique, Do you believe we'll be more probably to get a break and more time? I don't know. I'm hoping, Enrique. Okay, may have missed a few. Senya says I'm handsome. You got a strange idea about what handsome is, but my wife loves me, so whatever. Michael, I have an interview in Zagreb tomorrow morning. Any tips or advice? Yes. Good luck. Prepare well. Be calm. The interview lasts about 3 minutes, probably. There's almost no questions. It's not a complicated interview at all, as long as you've got all the paperwork in order. I went with an organized folder of papers, so I knew exactly where to go for the next paperwork. The biggest thing is just making sure you've got all of your documentation with you, including everything they list and a few things they don't list. Okay, so go through that very carefully, Michael. Okay. All right. So I think we've probably covered most of the questions there. We'll just a couple more here, just flying in, of course. Tolga says you called KCC yesterday on Google. KCC is open on Saturday. Are they really open on Saturdays? I didn't know that. And they've got an inclement weather message. Yeah, they were almost hit by the hurricane. But yeah, why they're still saying they're closed by inclement weather, I think is just a recording. By the way, when you call KCC on the phone, press 0 and you bypass the recorded message. You don't have to listen to the recorded messages. Just press 0, you get straight past it. Maisie, please, Kevin Can from Cameroon. How are the the lawyers working, Curtis and Co? They're working hard, I can tell you that. Curtis filed a lawsuit for covering 1,000 people. I mean, that takes a lot of work. So there you go. Good luck, Michael. Mahmood, what would be questions during the MC interview? I do have an article on my blog about what are the questions, but they're so trivial, you don't need to prepare for them. If you can't answer the questions, it's like you can't say good morning, right? I mean, it's like the questions are going to be very, very trivial. They're going to be about, where did you live before, and they're just trying to maybe confirm a couple of things from your form, but nothing you need to prepare for. Yes, take your bank statements, Michael. So yeah, about the I-134, I see a lot of people who pass even without one USD in their pocket and doesn't know English. Yeah, so Trey, there's a lot of bullshit, quite honestly, that people talk about. I heard about my granny's uncle's cousin who had a monkey and the monkey got a visa. It's just bullshit, Trey. So, take some advice and, listen to what an expert tells you rather than what you heard from some muppet. All right, Zia Abdullah, find a way to get that certificate. Ask and call the embassy of Poland and Iraq to find a way. Says yes. Okay, yeah, good advice from Riaz. Thank you for helping people there. Enrique saying in Guatemala, a friend of mine sent an email to the embassy in his country, and the embassy got a schedule for the next September 25th because the time is over, and his visa number is 29XX. Okay, so he got scheduled, so that's good. Mohammed is asking how you can overcome the proclamation against Sudan. It's very difficult. If you've got dual citizenships, that's one way. If you have a child who's a US citizen, that's another way. But other than that, it's not very many ways. Lou Jason, for my derivatives, 2 kids, 7 and 9. Are they required to have minimum USD 10,000 each relating to public charge? Okay, so if you are determined to not get an I-134 and you want to instead show savings, I often say that for a family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 kids, you would probably show something like $25,000. That might be enough. But I have heard embassies who've asked for proof of over 75 or over $100,000 for a small family. So, showing savings is not a guaranteed way to get approved, whereas showing an I-134 that's valid is a guaranteed way of getting approved on that. So there you go. Bundik says, in your whole theory video, you said it's probably 33 XXX cases in AF region with the highest case 85 XXX. Do you consider those who played without passport? And yes, of course I did. Yeah, of course I considered the people who played without the passport. That doesn't affect the numbers. That affects the number of people um, who get approved. And so when I talk about holes theories, etc., and I'm not talking about predictions about who will get an interview, those numbers are numbers of selectees. Okay. Samia, could please answer my questions? Piss. I think you mean please. I thought I had answered questions, Samia, but repeat your question, please. Trey's got a far relative in Africa. What does that mean, Trey? You know, we're all related to someone in Africa, right? Um, so, Walid, Simon, do you expect KCC to send more 2NLs during the remaining period of time? Yeah, they may do. They may set up some more, but it's more likely to be individual cases from now because the time is so short. Maisie, please, Brit, with all due respect, I sent my document and the KCC promised to sending me an interview date, but I can't accelerate my case with a. Oh, I lost it. Darn. Oh, yeah. But I can't accelerate my case. What's wrong? I'm case number 443XX. I don't know what's wrong. But if you're group 4 or group 5, the reality is, Maisie, they're not going to get to everybody by September 30th. They're just not. There's probably 30,000 people that want to be processed, and we'll be lucky if they get 2,000, 3,000, right? So, so it's going to be. They're not going to get to everyone, Maisie. You may not be lucky. We need the extension. Without the extension, you may not be lucky. Sabar Dorbor, I'm DV 2020. Can I ask you, if they tells you to do the DNA and you never did it, can they drop it and allow you to go? No, of course not. They're gonna, if they tell you to jump 10 feet in the air, until you do it, you're not getting your visa. So if they ask you to do DNA, it's because they don't believe that you're related to someone that you say you're related to. If you don't do it, you're never going to get your visa. It's as simple as that. And if you don't like that, don't apply for the visa, or don't continue the process. It's really that simple. You have to understand that the giving you a green card to live in the USA is a privilege, not a right. It's not your right to say, well, I'm not going to give you my DNA then. Give me the visa anyway. They don't have to give you anything, right? So if you want the visa, do what they say. Tolga, will it be appealed if there's an extension? They could appeal it, yes, but I don't expect they will. And frankly, by the time they appeal it, the extension would have been in place. So so I don't think that's really a problem. Guebla Dijad or Dijad, do you think we're getting an extension? I don't know. I'm hoping so. Ari and Yaz are communicating. That's good. Vegeta. You're a DV 2021 AF406XX. You got a master's degree from a UK university. Kind of broke at the moment. Do I have to pass the money? Do I have a chance? Find a friend in the USA who can fill out an I-134. A friend, family member, a friend of a friend, someone that you can get to fill out an I-134. And if you live in the UK, or if you lived in the UK, you should be able to produce enough money to actually save some money. It's a matter of priorities. Your number means you won't be interviewed until middle of next year. So you've got time to save some money. Mark Cyrus, how long it takes for the embassy to issue the visa, when the status will be changed after approval? It takes a few days, Mark. Depends on the case and the situation, but it does take a few days, because even if your case is perfect, when the embassy sees you and they want to immediately approve you, for all of the cases that are going through the embassies right now, the embassy has to ask KCC for a visa number to allocate to the case, and that in itself will take a day or two. So it might take a few days. And I'm hoping they're putting in place an emergency process for that, for the final interviews that are going to be held on the 29th. Okay, couple more questions, then we'll call it. Yeah, Charles Cook is on Facebook, starting soon. Good point. He's starting at 4 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock his time. It's about 7 minutes from now. I want to finish before that. Good point, Tolga. He's got some interesting information to talk about, and I'm sure he'll confirm how the report handling will be handled over tomorrow. Okay, Ricardo, what's the procedure for the I-134? You get an American or American citizen or resident to fill out the process, to fill out the form. You download it from the internet, and the instructions are on the internet too. And if I give you this link, I'll give you this link, which will help as well, which is information about how they assess the I-134. Yusuf is asking, is there a possibility to do a new case for 2020 DV winners? We got 10 days left. We got all the lawsuits we need. We got loads of lawsuits. No, we're all good. Please answer Brim. Mohammed Wali. I'm trying to find your... Okay, hi Brims. I'm not called Brims. Brits, maybe. When I am filling the DS260 education part, my highest education is bachelor degree. So filling the DS260, can I add my degree certificate, then high school? You go backwards. So the most recent one will be your degree, your bachelor's degree. Before that, you list high school, and you list all the education down to age 12, thereabouts, roughly. So that might mean that you list 3 or 4 different schools that you've attended up to that point. Okay, do all that. Okay, guys. Sidebar doorbell. In case you do the DNA, we're still on the DNA, are we? Will they allow you to go? Maybe they don't have the money for the DNA. Can they drop it? Again, they're not going to drop it. If you don't have the money, that's not their problem. If you do the DNA is being taken to prove your relationship to someone. You say you've got this child is your daughter, for example, but the consular officer is suspicious of that. So they want you to take a DNA test to prove that you're related to this child. That's the sort of thing. Again, you're worrying too much about DNA, and you should be. If you're really focused on getting this, you should not be concerned about silly things. It tells me that they're probably right to be concerned about fraud. Okay. Wade, I hope you can thank me in person too soon, one day too. If not, I'm going to have to go on the road, and I'm going to have to meet everyone in their own countries. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to call that a day. In 4 minutes' time, Charles Cook is starting his Facebook live session. I suggest you watch that if you're interested, although I know it's very late around the world in some places. So perhaps you just want to get some sleep. But let's keep our fingers crossed for tomorrow. Let's hope the judge sees some fairness and finds a way. And it's not easy, but finds a way to craft some sort of extension for us. That's our best chance at the moment. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to close it off now, and I'm going to post another video today, which will be about entering DV 2022. So look out for that one as well if you're interested. All right. Okay. Bye-bye now. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.